Hey, you're tuned in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I'm Achickwitbeatz.
And I'm Breezy Gipson.
And we're glad that you're here with us today. You know, we've been excited about the good things going on. Of course, we got a dope show lined up for you and everything, but maybe you want to take a moment to just share with the people the good news.
You know, there's some great things that are happening right here with the Music Marvels radio show. And speaking of, we're growing. To grow is great. That shows a sign of a lot of hard work being put in there and friendships as well, because now we're growing to actually blending in with Sparks Radio as well. And, so we're growing to over 200 and some odd FM stations around the world. And so, we really want to let you know about that. We're growing, and we're really excited about that. So the existing agreements that we have now have grown to be larger. So, hey, and that didn't come without some blessings from above, but that also didn't come without just sitting in there doing the hard work every week,
Very well said. Yes, we're very excited about that.
Oh yeah. So in the near future, we're going to be giving you some info about the growth and some specific info. So you stay tuned, keep your ears locked.
Yes. All right, so hang on to your seats. We're going to play some beats by yours truly. We'll be back with an interview, and then we'll get into music news after that.
I can't wait.
All right, let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We're glad to let you know that today we have with us the one, the only St. Jaimz in the virtual building. How are you feeling today?
Hey, I'm hanging in there post-COVID. You know, I ended up with COVID a few months back, and it wasn't a good experience for me. But thank God I'm still here and hanging in there. But got some post-COVID things going on. But I'm just trying to stay in at the doctor's, taking care of my business, so I can try to stay healthy. But this stuff ain't no joke out here. But with that being said, I'm just putting out new music and gonna press forward with what I do. R&B, baby.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. So, if you could, let everybody know, who is St. Jaimz? Like, when did you discover that you needed music to be a part of your life? Just give us a little bit of info about that journey.
Okay. Well, I'm a singer-songwriter, producer, and CEO of my own independent label. I've been in the music industry independently for about 30 years. I mean, I've rubbed shoulders with some big names, and I work with the janitor in the mop bucket closet if you got some talent. So I can take a person that doesn't really think they're dope and make them dope. Me and my team and I. I've been doing music since I was a kid, singing since I was a kid. My grandmother kind of introduced me to all the great music that's in our archives of history, especially for African American. I love all music in all genres. Ultimately, if it's a hit, it's a hit. If it's a good record, it's a great record. So, but mostly rhythm and blues is my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm ride or die R&B. Whether it was made in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or currently, some of that stuff that's out is pretty cool, actually. Some of it, but a lot of it, they just didn't have the music. The music training that we had, theory and learning how to take their time and produce this stuff. So outside of that, I just love music. Try not to criticize anybody's product, man. We all, as African Americans in this industry, are trying to just scrape through to get through. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So That's me.
Whoa, he just said a mouthful there, didn't he, Breezy?
Yeah, he did. So, and it's all good. It's all good. Our listeners, I'm sure, are just soaking you up because, you're coming forth as a man with a plan, a man who's doing things, a man who has got experience, and, it's all good. So, again, welcome you to our show.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Now, what is it like in a day in your shoes?
Oh man, well, independently, I wear all the hats, multiple hats. I have a team, but at the end of the day, when you're the leader, a lot of that falls on you. When they succeed, it falls on you, and you get the credit. When it doesn't work out too good, you get the credit too. So it can be interesting, man. But I focus on just basically being transparent, very honest. I'm very direct. I don't like to cut corners and beat around the bush about anything I deal with. And sometimes that could come across to people as rude. But I think the problem with our society today is we tend to not be completely transparent and honest about how we feel about things, and we kind of tolerate certain things, but then secretly we're complaining and murmuring and fussing about it. So I try to make sure I'm honest and direct with every aspect of my life, personally and personally and business. So I just try to make sure I focus on that. And the day in the life of my life is just music. I'm running a label. I have independent artists I'm promoting. I have a promotions company, a radio station, production company. I mean, I'm doing it all, but it's a machine that I've kind of like independently put together in the last year or two. And it's very busy, man. And, so it's no really time to play around. So and when you're running your own music label and you're putting out your own records, you really don't got time for a social life. And I don't need that. And with COVID still out there tearing people up, I ain't no hurry to get back out there breathing in other people's face.
Yeah, definitely feel you there. So you had mentioned like all the music and stuff that you kind of gravitate to. Who were some of your influences early on?
Oh, I gotta go with James Brown as the godfather of soul first and foremost. People forget about how much music he made and how many people sampled his stuff. So James Brown is, soul. How can you mention music without James? So James is my first. Then I'm gonna go with some of the other greats, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, Quincy Jones, Ray Charles, people like that. And then I move up into the 80s, Glenn Jones, Eugene Wilde, Alexander O'Neal, people like that, and then of course 90s, Drew Hill, Boyz II Men, Jodeci, and so forth. And then currently, St. James.
I love it.
well, right from the start, I gotta say this first and get this out of the way. Right from the start, when I found out that you were gonna be the guest, okay, it's like I went bananas, and here's why.
Okay.
I'm in Atlanta, okay, and in downtown ATL, there's a spot called St. James. Okay.
Okay.
Now on the weekends, oh my God, the guys, the entertainers and ladies who are the powerhouses, that's where they roll. Okay.
Really?
So I'm like, yes, sir. Okay.
Is it?
And I'm like, St. James. I'm like, this gotta be a bad dude like you.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Hey, what's that place? What's that place? It's to be like Midtown or like either Midtown or Buckhead. They used to be like that place. It's like what was that small little place? What was it called? That other place? It was back in the day. I sang there before. It was like a little small spot.
Oh no, not Yin Yang Cafe.
One cafe something. I know it was or something. One of that, something like that. Yeah, I used to sing. I sang in that mug before. That probably used to be crazy. But go ahead. So St. James.
No wonder. It's like I had this vibe with you. Now there's a couple of spots. There's an Apache. There used to be an Apache Cafe.
Okay, Apache Cafe. That's where I rocked the mic in Apache. Well,
Okay. Well, see, now before that was a name change. See, it used to be the Yin Yang Cafe, and then some management things, some management changes came about, and it changed to Apache. But man, if you were there, you were in the spot, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That band was phenomenal. They had a really, really great band. They could play anything. So I used to love.
They actually, that same band just had an anniversary. No, they got an anniversary program tonight.
Oh, wow. Yeah. For real? You got to get some footage of that. Send it to a brother, something if you can. Come on, man.
Yeah, they got a spot. I hate to, get away from the topic, but man, that same group, those are some killer musicians.
Ooh, and they sure are.
Yeah, they had a final performance years ago, and then they made up their mind. Things started itching. People started demanding and asking. And so tonight, They've got a a reunion appearance. Yeah. So,
do they have a website, Apache? Is they going to be playing at the Apache tonight?
It's another spot, but I will do my best to find out and get
if
that.
You can get anything. I'm telling you, man, that band ridiculous. So it's just funny, man. So it's a small world. Yeah, that's why I kind of like that.
That was they were called the Chronicle.
Yes. Yep. They were phenomenal. Well, thanks for clarifying that for me, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you were with them, and not only just with them, and I know right there, that tells me your vibe. So not only in your city, your state, but across this country and across the world, I'm here to tell you, St. Jaimz, you bad guy, man. You a bad man. You bad.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Love it. So, yeah, okay. You mentioned you rock the spot there. When you think back on your performances and stuff, what would you say that your favorite one was?
The Sugar Bar, NYC. Ashford and Simpson spot, man, in New York, man. One particular night, I got the little quick story. I was literally had no money. I had some CDs, my laptop, and I was really literally homeless. But back in those days, you was shopping record deals. That was the whole point. You didn't care about nothing else. Just I got to get to these labels and stuff. New York was where all the major labels had offices. So. I ended up doing the Sugar Bar open mic night one night, and Freddie Jackson, Melba Moore, El DeBarge, and Stephanie Mills were all up front.
Wow.
And it was like, so I sang a Maxwell joint, Don't Ever Wonder, and I killed it. Freddie called me over to him, was like, boy, you bad. And and everybody else was really nice, El DeBarge, everybody. I really had a great time. And I really, I'm a transparent guy, so I said, Freddie, I hate to bother you, bro, but I literally have nothing in my pocket for a room or something to eat. Freddie didn't have much money, but he gave me about $100, $100 bill. Wow. So this is all the cash I got, my brother. Here's my phone number, stay in touch. But it's just a thought, man. And the brother gave me $1. I was able to get a hotel room and something to eat that night. That's just a small story, man. So
what an experience. Wow.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, okay, you named everybody that was sitting in the front row. So you must have some tips for any artists out there listening that might deal with performance anxiety. How were you able to just do what you do with all those eyes on you like that?
Stay true to your heart. When you in your most private places, singing these songs, rehearsing, you got to go there in your mind. Sometimes you just have to close your damn eyes and just get to it. You can't worry about, we get taught all these, old school wise, you get taught all the tricks of the trade, eye contact, even if it's just on one particular person in the audience, do this, move like this. But sometimes you just got to close your eyes and just sing. And that's what I do when I feel that a real bad anxiety. I just close my eyes and sing my song. That's how they just do it in church. Sing a song, sing, baby, sing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Use you, yeah.
That's right, exactly. Because they know when you're struggling, they know when you're nervous. Everybody can tell. It's just and ain't nothing wrong with that. If you ain't nervous, you're arrogant. So focus on a little bit on your nervousness and let it work for you. But that, and ultimately, rehearse, practice. Just the more you practice, the more confidence you get. The more better your show and performance becomes. And I think that's all it is. A lot of people don't put in the work these days. They don't practice enough. They don't rehearse them vocals enough. They don't even spend a lot of time making the records no more. So the quality can be diminished if you don't put in the effort and the time.
Right. Wow. Yeah. That's first of all, that's just crazy. All the stories and information that you dropped and the knowledge right now, especially if you're not nervous, you're arrogant. Nah. Like that's that's really cool. But yeah. So I guess the thing that I'm still kind of burning to ask, even though you've already dropped so much so far, like what's the most important thing that you've learned since you've been in the game?
It's so many lessons and they come at a tough price and a high cost because you just don't know. And they say there's a saying, when you don't know, you don't know. And when you don't know the business of music, it's a lot you're going to find yourself going through. So for all those independent artists out there, them young guys, young artists out there, guys and young ladies, This is not going to be an easy journey. I don't care if you got a bunch of money, if you're poor starting out, you barely got it going in any direction. It's the whole process is ever learning. There are people out there with mass amounts of talent and money, and still no one knows who they are, or they are not a brand. And so what it is because the journey of the business of music, it's not the music. That's the easy part ultimately when you get it done and you do it right. But the business of music is the hardest lesson. Learning, there's so many layers to a record. Like a record is broken up into 10 slices of a pie. People don't even know that a song is, there's 10 streams of income that come from one song. They just hear, oh, I wrote the song, it's out, now I get royalties. No, it's so many slices to that pie. And so to those artists out there that don't understand that, you gotta know it's no excuse not to know the music business with Google. We didn't have Google. We had Britannica in their library.
Yeah, for the microfiche and all that. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Now they ain't no excuse to have a smartphone and be dumb.
Right. Man, so many gems. But
wow.
Well, go ahead.
You sound like a man of many means, St. Jaimz. I mean, I'm just excited that you're here, you know, that you're rubbing off on the listeners, man. I mean, I'm just feeling a powerhouse. So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah, I just want to share what I've learned, and this information shouldn't be sold. It should be told. Real talk, because especially for our black people, man, it's the industry isn't exactly catering to urban music. I mean, yeah, hip hop looks like it's doing well, which it is, a multi-billion-dollar genre, but it's more popular. It's pop now. Hip hop ain't even hardcore hip hop no more. It's pop. Right, it's commercialized. Right. And even if those songs aren't talking about anything necessarily edifying and beneficial in some cases, it's still pop. It's considered pop music now because it's mainstream to say the N word. It's mainstream to talk about woes and poverty and stuff, but nobody it's not impacting people where people want to go out and do something when they hear these records no more, because it's popular pop music now. So other than that, it's just tough for black folks in the music. So we really got to stop not supporting each other, because it's the only industry a lot of us can even make a buck out of, because you ain't hearing a bunch of kids talking about they want to be a doctor, lawyer, scientist, math teacher, professor, or astronaut anymore. Everybody wants to be a rapper, videographer, dancer, or a singer,
right?
You know, or run a label or something, or do videos. Ain't nobody talking about going to school to be a biologist, chemist, lawyer.
Yeah. Man, okay, so I'm looking at the clock and I'm feeling sad because I feel like we just scratching the surface. But before we let you go anywhere, I need you to make sure that you tell everybody listening right now where they can follow you, where they can find your music, and what you got coming up in the pipeline.
Okay, I appreciate you. Thanks for your time. Listen, you can find me on my official website, stjaimz.com, SAINTJAIMZ, www, of course. All social media platforms, streaming all over the place on all digital streaming platforms. And I'm YouTube. I'm a tangible dude. You can find me on Instagram, St. Jaimz Official. If you DM me, I'm gonna hit you back. I communicate. I'm real. I'm raw. I'm to the point. If you need support, help, you want to make some hits, holler at me, my team. And we're tangible, real people. We just happen to do music. I make music. Music does not make me. Appreciate y'all.
Most definitely.
Well, hey, fam. I'm gonna tell the doorman. Man, we gotta sneak him back in.
Yeah. You definitely got to come back. Yeah, because this was only part one, so yeah, we got to do part two. Yeah.
If y'all need, anytime, hit me. I think TJ could organize this, so hit him up, or my promo director, Lisa English at English Promotions. I'm back anytime. If you ever got a panel, you guys do a panel of guests or want me to be a part of whatever. I love to support independent movement, so appreciate you.
Awesome. We appreciate you. Yeah, Breezy, you got any thoughts you want to leave with them before we?
No, man. I mean, see, I'm rushed for time, man. See,
no.
Real quick. My bad. Real quick. I got 4 new records dropping Friday. Make sure you check me out on social media. I got three other artists that's under my label. independent label, and then there's a record I'm putting out called "I'm Not the Enemy," a ballad, power ballad. So it should be a Grammy Award-winning record, but you know how that's going. The Grammys ain't even Grammys anymore.
Right.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, we appreciate you too. Can't wait to have you back. Thank you.
Okay,
Right.
thank you. God bless y'all, man.
Hey,
Stay safe out there.
I'm putting my foot in the door, man, so the door ain't gonna shut all the way.
Right.
Okay, all right, no problem. Hey, if you could get some footage of that perform of what that band Chronicle tonight, that would be awesome, man. Just to see them brothers and they do their thing again.
I do what I can, man. I do what I
Okay, I know you will. No, I know promises, but I appreciate you, brother. Got you.
can. Sure. Okay.
Peace. All right,
Peace.
y'all have a great day. All right,
You too.
Do the same.
all right, later.
All right, and that was a delight to have him on the show. It's always great to come across people with different stories, and just to kind of hear people's inspiration and what drives them. That's a big thing that we believe in on this show, because you can always learn from other people, no matter how long you've been in the game, or even if you're kind of new to it or whatever. It's always great to kind of hear from other people, because if you can learn from other people's experiences, that can kind of keep you from going through some headaches.
Yeah, you took the word right out of my thought. I was gonna say it's the real life experiences. You can have a lot of book knowledge, and that's great. The book knowledge gets you a lot of places and so forth. But the real life experiences, oh man, they're you can't replace them. You just can't replace them.
Yes. All right, we're gonna take another pause for the cause, and then we'll be back with music industry news right after this.
town like McAllen and the Rio Grande, or in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles. It is business, big business.
Okay, and we're back with music industry news. Instagram is adding collabs, which is a new music feature for Reels. And they're also adding desktop posting and a whole lot more stuff. But what's interesting about the collabs is that it's going to allow creators to co-author both feed posts and Reels. So both accounts will appear in the post or the Reels header, and the content will be shared to both sets of followers. So it'll show up in both profile grids. It'll have the same view count, same like count, and even the same comments. So this is particularly great for, creatives. You want to collaborate music-wise with the director of the song, the beat maker, whoever. It's a really, really good thing that they're doing. So some people actually have access to it now, but it'll be getting rolled out to the rest of everybody else in the near future.
That's good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And Lyric Capital Group, which is the owner of Spirit Music Group, struck a $500 million alliance with Northleaf Capital Partners. So this is another big music deal. You know, we keep talking about all these investment companies that are putting their money into music, so that way their investors can benefit from the big game that's been happening within the industry. So the funds that are going to be managed by Northleaf already hold an interest in certain music royalty catalogs. And so, they're adding this into the mix, and this particular catalog with the other ones that they already have combine over 100,000 songs. So, big things happening there. It's always good to pay attention to where the money goes. Follow the money.
Yeah, the money, money means a lot. A lot of times it's not how much it is what you do with what you've got, or what you're given, So we're gonna be branching off into some true life experiences with that, coming soon. So money is important, but even more so what you do with the money, whether you run away and hoard it, or whether you actually help others out there who are trying to come up in various ways.
Yes. And, speaking of money and investments, the SEC just greenlit the sale of shares in a hit song, and fans can buy them for $16. So the fan investment platform, SongVest, aims to bring fans closer access to exclusive investment opportunities. So this is a little bit different from, we've been seeing a lot of this going on with some of the big firms, to where you actually had to be with the firms in order to take part in it. But now they're trying to make sure that fans can get direct access through this. So the hit song, in case you're curious what it was, if you remember Hit the Quan by I Love Memphis, you can now purchase a portion of the producer royalties for $16. So it's some shares out there, something to check into if you're interested in. And also as an artist, that's definitely something to be looking into. So make sure you check out SongVest.
Yeah, it's very important to the listeners also. We hear this phrase, do your research. Okay, well, that's all fine. There's a lot of folks that they rely strictly on doing their research, but sometimes a person has to reach out to an expert to actually get some behind the scenes info of whatever that topic is. So that's another thing that we're going to be visiting soon. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yes. And Cobalt has sold a catalog to a new KKR venture called Chord for $1.1 billion. So the investment giant has acquired the KMR Music Royalties 2 portfolio For that amount, the catalog has over 62,000 copyrights across so many different genres. So Cobalt's going to remain the publisher on the fund, but somebody else is going to be reaping a lot of the benefits for that one. So yeah, so far the theme has been money, money, money. Huh?
Yeah, money, money, money.
Right. All right, we're going to take another pause for the cause, and then we'll be back with round 2 of music industry news right after this. we're back with round 2 of music industry news. All right, now this is a little bit glum, but it's part of life. It's kind of good to know some of these stats. But during the pandemic in the UK, 1 in 3 music industry jobs were lost. So, a part of this study that had went out in the UK showed that live music revenues collapsed by 90% in 2020. And so, one good thing to take away from it is, yes, the UK also has help available for those people. But, if there's any way for you to possibly diversify what you do in music, it's a great thing to try it. I personally know a lot of artists that just kind of leaned on the live music side of it pre-pandemic, which was great because, if you get the right booking and everything, you can make a lot of money doing shows. But it's also important to make sure that you stay connected online. So, we talked a lot on this show during the pandemic about the different opportunities for doing live stream concerts. So even as, some of this stuff is kind of coming back, people are starting to get out a little bit more. It's still something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. Like, okay, if this goes away for another portion of time again, what else can I do to make sure that I can get my art to people and still fairly get compensated for it? So it's something to keep in mind there.
Oh yeah. So, knowledge is power and awareness is power also. So stay right there and absorb this stuff, this info, because, you can prosper in various ways from this info.
Yes. And, that actually segues us into the next news story. So the UK music streaming services are facing scrutiny over competition. And you know why? Because of what happened during the pandemic. So as artists started to lose money, and not just artists, even people who work on sound and all that other good stuff that you need during the show, have noticed that once some of that money dried up, you start to look at the other streams of revenue that you have coming in. And one of those is streaming. So, there's a big group of music publishers that kind of got together and said, hey, we don't think that artists are getting their fair share. Most of the money, and we've shared this before, goes to the huge pie. So it'll go to the record labels and the major artists before it actually trickles down to the independent artists. And the independent artists are a big portion of what people are actually listening to on these streaming services. So yeah, the UK government is saying, hey, go ahead, let's take a look at this. Maybe we need to step in and do something about this. And, the same thing has been going on in the US as well. So, hopefully some stuff can go on to where some things can change. It's really unfortunate the way that those streaming models are set up, but there's been a lot of pushback lately. So hopefully everyone who's speaking out and working to change this can actually get it done.
Yeah. That's crucial. So don't let that slide by without paying any attention to it.
Mm-hmm. And Questlove has released a new book titled Music is History. And so the book tracks musical history from 1971, which is Questlove's birth year, throughout today, examining the last 50 years of music in America and how it overlaps with the country's political evolution and, of course, Questlove's personal story. So if you're into reading music books, that's definitely something you might want to check out. And every time he pops up in the news story, I always say, if you have not watched The Summer of Soul, definitely check it out. It's available on Hulu. If you're a music lover, it's definitely something you got to see.
Well, and that word that you have used a number of times for the listeners, soak up that word, and that word is diversify. You might be the best live performer that there is out there, but still, don't rely just on that. You still have to diversify, use your talents to go into other directions and spread your wings as far as planting seeds or creating opportunities for educating folks or increasing your own income. So diversify, and keep that diversification going.
Yes, Questlove is a perfect example of that, isn't he?
Yes, so look at him, just like Achickwitbeatz just said, and others too as well, because don't just plant that seed for that one flower and then just bank on that flower, because as you know, flowers have seasons, and so they will grow and blossom in the springtime and be looking good, but then once autumn comes, they start faltering and withering away, so you got to have more than one. You got to have multiple streams of income in there, one way or another, to keep yourself going in many ways. So diversify.
For sure. It's a great comparison. Oh, yeah. And new project from DJs for Climate Action and Greenpeace have announced a new 37-track charity compilation. So Greenpeace provided nature sounds from around the world. So we're talking iceberg claps, whales singing, monsoons, birds in Indonesia, and rainforests. And so they provided these sounds to be used by musicians that are going to be included in this compilation. So the record will be produced by Green Vinyl Records using a new injection molding process that reduces emissions and is free from toxic PVCs, which we were just talking about PVCs last week, about how the storms hit Texas and it slowed it down. So for a while, all we had there was that pressing plant in Japan that actually, manufactured the molds. So the PVCs stand for polyvinyl chloride. So it's going to be without the toxic version of that and another toxic chemical that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. But it's kind of interesting that they're doing this project and that they're actually trying to be environmentally conscious while doing it. So the proceeds will be split between DJs for Climate Action's future projects and also donated to local and frontline organizations in the locations where the samples were recorded.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. And speaking of diversifying and teaming up, got to shout out Megan Thee Stallion for her hottie sauce with Popeyes. She had announced that last week, and it's going to be available in Popeyes for a limited time. But she also, along with Popeyes, had donated a 6-figure donation to Houston Random Acts of Kindness charity. And at the same time of doing that, she revealed that she's a Popeyes franchise owner. So a lot of good stuff going on there. So, yep, she made the deal. She's making the money. She's got her own branch of it, and she's actually giving back as well. So, shout out to Megan for all the good stuff that she's doing.
Yeah. And it's all about bringing yourself up, but helping others at the same time. And in a total different direction. Just yesterday, in the sports world, one of the Atlanta Hawks signed a new contract, and it was $100 million. But what he was saying in the aftermath was that that just $1 million is a huge amount of money. Okay, but the 100 that he signed in his contract, a lot of that is going to be used towards giving back to others, so that they may come up the same way he did. And he was born in a rough situation, family situation, and wasn't much funds going around and so on and so forth. And now here it is, here he is receiving some funds for the job. But see, it's not just about go out and big bank and, big cars and all of this kind of stuff, flashy stuff. No, it's about giving back. So he's helping himself, but helping others out there that they may come up the same way that he did.
Philanthropy. Good stuff. All right, and that does it for music industry news. We're going to take another pause for the cause music break with beats by yours truly, and then we'll be back before we head out for the night.
Okay.
does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we really, really thank you for rocking with us. We love what we do, and we love having you here while we do it.
Oh yeah. Now, in reference to the last statement I made, now don't sit back and just be a mooch. Don't sit back and just wait for somebody to come and gift you with something. No, you still got to get out there and get it, right?
Right, absolutely.
You got to get out there and get it for yourself, and so now if something like that happens, that's good. But, we're just ecstatic to be here. It's a great time. We're here one more day to spin these sounds and interview folks and join with you, the listeners. So it's truly a wonderful thing. And I'm glad to be in the seat one more time,
Yes, agreed. All right, so now, once again, you know what to do and where to find us in multiple places, thankfully. So make sure that you tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.